Welcome to the first of 3 videos in the Climate Resilience Training. Today, we're giving you a sneak peek into the new MVP 2.0 process. So buckle up and let's dive into building climate resilience. A big round of applause for forming your core team. You will be playing an important role for your community by leading the MVP 2.0 process. Here's what you'll be doing. Creating connections with community members to understand what contributes to community vulnerability. Revisiting your community's climate resilience priorities with a focus on equity. Developing and rolling out a project to strengthen community resilience. Now, you might ask, what exactly is community climate resilience? Well, it's the capacity of a community to anticipate, deal with, and bounce back stronger from the impacts of climate change. Resilient communities don't merely recover, they continually enhance their ability to reduce the effects of future climate events. Things like access to healthy food, affordable housing, and reliable internet all contribute to community resilience. And how, you may ask, does the MVP 2.0 process come into play? The MVP 2.0 process unfolds in 3 phases over 2 years. And your community? You've already gotten started. Remember, you have a dependable vendor on your team to assist you every step of the journey. The MVP 2.0 process guide also outlines these steps in greater detail. You can access the process guide and other MVP 2.0 resources on the MVP website, resilientma.mass.gov/MVP. You're already wrapping up Phase 1. You've laid the groundwork to understand who in your community could be most impacted by climate change. You've gathered your core team members. Yes, that's you. And you're already participating in the core team training designed to bolster knowledge and skills for the process. In Phase 2, you'll delve into factors that affect the social vulnerability and resilience for people in your community. Financial stresses, transportation options, safe spaces during heat waves. You'll be using the Social Resilience Roadmap as your guide. You'll lead community outreach and engagement activities to connect with the people in your community. You'll lean on your community liaisons to ensure you're reaching those most affected by climate change. You'll also scrutinize community data and local climate projections to understand community vulnerability using the Guides for Equitable and Actionable Resilience online tool, which we call GEAR. You'll then revisit the resilience priorities that your community developed in your original MVP report with a special focus on equity. Once you've updated your resilience priorities, you're ready for Phase 3. In Phase 3, you'll develop and implement a seed project. This is a project that will advance your community's resilience priorities and that can be developed and completed in approximately a year. It could be an initial phase in a project that could be continued through an MVP action grant. Communities will receive $50,000 of guaranteed funding to complete a seed project with no local match requirement. You'll collaborate as a core team to devise a project idea, vet that idea with the community, develop an implementation plan, and bring to life your seed project. The MVP 2.0 process concludes with a reflection on what went well and how you can refine your approach for future resilience efforts. At the heart of the MVP 2.0 process lies the principle of centering equity in building community resilience. This means paying specific and even greater attention to the needs of environmental justice and other priority populations, those who will bear the brunt of climate change, and ensuring the outcomes directly reduce any disproportionate harm. In simple words, Decisions about what's needed to build resilience must be guided, informed, or led by those who will be most affected. Priority populations encompass environmental justice populations while also acknowledging a broader range of factors that contribute to vulnerability, such as physical ability, access to transportation, health, age, and other life circumstances. And rest assured, you're not alone in this journey. In addition to your primary vendor, the MVP regional coordinators are here to support you throughout the process. There are checkpoints along the way where you and your regional coordinator will check in to ensure everything is on track. You can find these checkpoints in the process guide. This process is a golden opportunity to create an impact, build relationships, and foster a healthier, stronger, and more resilient community. Completing the process will also make your community more competitive and successful in the future of climate resilience projects, whether funded through the MVP Action Grant or another source. Your core team, including dedicated community liaisons, will make sure that the voices of those who will be most impacted by climate change and who are most often underrepresented in the planning processes are heard. This model of equity-centered community engagement can serve as a blueprint for future initiatives. Moreover, this process bolsters the efforts to diversify the voices involved in government decision-making. We hope the relationships and connections fostered through this process will bring new voices into community committees and planning initiatives. Remember, all the resources you need in this process can be found on the MVP website at www.resilientma.mass.gov/MVP, including all the materials and tools covered in this video series. We conclude by saying a heartfelt thank you for the commitment to building more equitable communities resilient to the impacts of climate change across Massachusetts.